Hallo und herzlich willkommen zum Auf die Fresse WXW Review podcast in English. I'm Ian Hamilton, joined as always by Mike Kilby and Mike. We've got a full field for 16 Carat Gold, but some breaking news early tonight. A lot of plans thrown out the window. But first, I guess, it'd be nice to see how's it going.
Yeah, very good, very good. I say a bit of a. It's surprising that the news happens before we record for a change. Normally the other way around.
Yeah. So I guess we're kind of expecting this, just based, on what happened, the shocking vlog that came out on Tuesday, I think it was. Peter Tihanyi, he's vacated the Unified World Wrestling title. WXW announced via tweet earlier tonight that his shoulder injury has been deemed serious enough he's going to be out of action for a lengthy spell, and as such they've stripped him of the title. So since we recorded the last episode, they pulled him from the Wheel of Wrestling show in Bielefeld. They changed that match. We'll go with that in a few moments. Wasn't at the show. There's no presence of him on the shotgun blogs or anything like that. But yeah, they've announced that Dead End Hamburg next week, what was meant to be Peter Tihanyi against Carat Noir, that's now Fast Time Mudo against Carat Noir. Obviously still non-title because Mudo ain't the champion. But the big, I guess, the spanner in the works, so of course main event of the Saturday Carat was meant to be Leah Bloom against Peter Tihanyi for the title. They've now said the winner of 16 Carat Gold will take on Leah Bloom for the vacant belt at TBC. So this isn't going to be like we had 2 years ago with Shiggy, with the title being up for grabs in the tournament. And the fact that they said it's going to be confirmed after Carat tells me that, if they've had a winner in mind and they've thrown that all out, who knows? My first thought was, oh God, better not be Carat Noir, because that whole TBC just really opens the field wide open again. And of course, we don't know what's going to be the main event of that Saturday of Carat in place of Bloom Tihanyi again. This only just came out by 2-3 hours ago, so plenty of water going to the bridge before then. Of course, Tihanyi won the Unified World Wrestling title on October 5th at a World Tag Team Festival. Beat Lawrence Roman and Robert Dreisker in a freeway there. He actually beat Leah Bloom twice in title defences, one at Fan and at a Wheel of Wrestling live show in Limbach, Oberfrohna in November. A win over Lawrence Roman at the anniversary show looks to put both men behind him. And of course, Leah won the Kefik Schlacht last month, and that set up for Carat. And no word on how the injury happened. All they've said is a shoulder injury. His last matches were for the GWF in Berlin earlier this month. So no contest with Mustafa Ali for the world title. It was like a 23-minute match, and then they did the whole, Cash Money, Erkan Sulchani and Georg Alskalar, Blutsbrüder, did the run in, then they did like a 2-minute quick match to send the crowd home happy. But yeah, I guess, I did a quick fast forward through it, and again, the Dunning-Kruger effect in motion here. If you want to pick out that's where it happened kind of thing, there was a spot about halfway through the match. Tihanyi did a crossbody off the top. Ali's drop kicked it away, and Tihanyi came in like a real sack of spuds on his shoulder. And instantly, clutched at it. If you want to point, maybe that's what it was. Obviously, we don't know, and obviously ain't going to change a damn thing. But some really rotten timing for Peter Tihanyi, because this Leah Bloom feud was, really, as the kids say, cooking. And it was all pointing towards a really heated match on Saturday of Carat.
Yeah, exactly. I say rotten timing. I think we've always been used to plans changing sort of last minute for Carat. Kind of seems to be a common thing.
Normally it's withdrawals.
Normally withdrawals, and this in a way is the same sort of thing. But yeah, it's disappointing, and I think it's say rotten luck, and I think it's a real shame because that was a feud which was building well. Hopefully they can find something good for Ilya to do at Carat. You'd hope so, but it's just a rotten luck, really, isn't it?
And again, you look at the the lineups, like I guess the obvious things are, do you look for another person from High Performer Limited? But again, that's not really a main event match. The fact we've already said Bloom has his title shot, but it will be against Carat winner. there's no real need, I guess. I mean, do you do Anil Marek as a main event? I mean, it's not so much for match, it's also for position. This isn't
Well, yeah,
like, oh,
they've sold the Saturday night
yeah.
on a big
Um,
match. So yeah,
I mean, the only thing, again, that you could maybe look at, they do have young blood, assuming they're champions, against Icarus and Anil Marek. That was decided from, was it Back to the Roots? No, they're clearly built up towards Mike D and Lavaniel for the European title at some point over Carat weekend. They haven't said what date. But again, no, are either of those prime spots to that spot? No, or do you just take the safe route and say, right, we just pick, and again, the fact that it's a blind draw, you'll know who your quarterfinalists are. You just pick the hottest match there, and that sucks to suck, but that's what you end up doing. Again, plenty of time to go through, see what they do,
yep.
and who knows?
Coming up, so.
And who knows, coming out of Hamburg next week, they might have something up. But I guess we'll have a quick run through this past weekend show. So it was Wheel of Wrestling, 64 Road 16 Carat Gold in Bielefeld. That's a mouthful and sucks for SEO. But so this was the 6-person Road 16 Carat Gold tournament. There was only one spot up for grabs. So you had 3 semi-finals and a 3-way final. I'm just going to blitz through this because, again, this is, the main thing was the main event. But first match, you had Fast Time Moodle beating Nick Schreier, decent enough for 9 minutes and change. What I would say though is it says a lot about Nick Schreier, the fact that okay, Moodle pretty close coming out of the coming off tag title reign. The fact that they built up Nick Schreier to the point where if he'd won, this wouldn't have been an upset.
Yeah, it would have been a fairly. I thought this was a decent sort of match between them. I thought. Again, I think Muto's going to continue in his run of quietly getting over the sort of the stink of the last 2 years. But yeah, I think it wouldn't have been completely out of the realms of possibility.
Actually, while this is on my mind, because I know we brought this up, obviously we didn't have this at the Shotgun vlog. I guess the droll promos that he and Axeman do, found out exactly what was also like a tribute to Männer, die aufs Wasser starren, m.d.a.w.s on Instagram. Basically, it's a couple of German comedians who that's pretty much the whole thing is, sitting down, with a drink, and it's basically, I don't know, I wouldn't say it was like any kind of British equivalent of that kind of thing. It was just like deadpan droll kind of thing, but that's the where the ideas come from. It's worked. Therefore, get that out because I couldn't think of another time it come up naturally, I guess. But
correction, yeah.
Next up, semi-final, Stephanie Mays over Baby Allison. This is one which has been back and forth for a while. I know they did a couple of matches back end of last year on the East Germany swing. They had a match in Mendig on the show that got released in Piecemeal a couple of weeks ago. I think this one is fine, but again, I think it's one of those once Mudo one you kind of, the die had kind of been cast, you kind of knew what the plan we were going to go for was Stephanie and her 2 tag partners, former tag partners was going to be final. The Shotgun vlog, we'll touch on that in a bit, but Baby Allison, this is 2 years in a row, she's lost a Carat qualifier to Stephanie Mays, and I guess there's repercussions there we'll touch on in a bit. In the final, semi-final, Bobby Guns, he gets his match against the Japanese import, or not over Carat weekend, submitting Yu Aoki. It was a hell of a match again for the time they had. Again, Bobby seems to be in his element with these kind of matches and his opponents.
He's practically obliged to have one, I think, isn't he?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's a hell of a contract. Hey, have more for more than a couple of days. You had was Hideki Suzuki over Taka Festival weekend, which, I've done again. If we put any thought to it, it's like, yeah, that's obvious. And now we're looking at the Carat line, going right. Who's he going to have a matchup with? No, well, no. This is a spoiler for later. If they don't do Bobby against Mochizuki over Carat weekend, we'll know that contract run out and there's a new one about that clause maybe. But yeah, 3 semi-finals. You had Mudo, Mays and Guns in the final of the main event. Then a couple of matches which weren't announced, so some surprise bonuses. Yokai over Zoltan in 6 minutes. Again, fine for what it was. Yokai's first win on the main roster. Zoltan, they're making a lot more use out of in recent shows. He had that top match with Lawrence Roman for Project Nova last year. So again, getting him on the cards, getting him some exposure. So I would not be surprised if he's a part of Carat Weekend in some form, whether it's in a circle, Shotgun Bonanza, or Fight Forever stuff. Hey, alternate four-way, there you go. Aigle Blanc beat Ahura, getting his win back from Back to the Roots. They're having a really nice little feud, this, and the fact that it's literally based over the mask is something I was not expecting.
Yeah. I thought this was a really, really good match. I think there was, I'd say it was a nice sort of callback to the match from the last show, where obviously Ahura twists his mask around. This time, Aigle Blanc takes Ahura's face mask, I suppose, and twists
the old Cody Rhodes mask.
Yeah, Stuart Pearce, whatever. No, Gary. Sorry, Paul Gascoigne. So yeah, it's I thought this was actually a really neat sort of callback, and I actually think this is possibly one of the better sort of We Love Wrestling matches I think I've seen in a long while, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it helps. But it wasn't just thrown out cold. It wasn't it's a 16 Carat Gold preview. They actually had some juice behind this, and this would not surprise me. Night one main event. If they'll be announcing the first round matches in about 2 weeks' time, it would absolutely not surprise me if this was main event of night one, just because we've done the legwork for it. But we'll see. Next up, one called Amanda spanked Dennis Stolnig in just under a quarter of an hour. This one really surprised me. Again, it wasn't just Mandas again. He's coming in. He's one of the guys for the laundry list of I'm going to win Carat because he's come close last year. Dolnig, he's on his own after he walked out in Hector. This is going to end up in some fetish tape, I think, just because of all the spanking we had from Mandas. But yeah, this was again a nice little surprise for match. Yeah, it wasn't just Dolnik, running and hiding and doing the comedy stuff. He brought, and again, shotgun vlog afterwards, he wore those battle scars, nice and proud.
Loved that lariat as well. From
yes, the finish we lariated the cowboy hat off him.
Yeah, that was superb.
Cash is good value for his role, and hopefully, it's the start of something for him. Obviously, Carat too soon, but we've got to start somewhere when you break up a team. Next up, we had Levaniel doing his European title fake open challenge thing. 3-minute squash of debutant Tim Kozlowski, who I have no clue where they've gone from. Yeah. Apparently, he's from Hamburg. Marvin looks apart. Again, if he's one of those who he's got the look, he's got the size. I don't know how long he's been trained, so I don't know if this is like, you're 6 months in, you look the part, you can do 3 minutes and we'll bring you back at some point. But I would keep an eye on him because he had the stereotypical wrestler look, chiseled physique and what have you. And we've seen guys in the past, cross wrestling who look the part and just don't make it for one reason or another. Put a pin in that name, because I think if he picks it up and there's no background forces or anything like that, he could be a sneaky one for the future in a few years' time.
Yeah, for sure. I think he strikes me as someone I may have seen. I think he does Maximum Wrestling, sort of those sort of Hamburg-based promotions. I have heard the name in passing, but not much more than that. So.
Yeah, I know he's done some. How was it? He did one of the comic book con shows for WXW last year. Obviously, with the main roster statement, they don't do the as much of the Academy shows anymore. So we'll see. Where he pops up again. It was M4 had that spot a few weeks back against Levaniel. Of course, Levaniel doing the whole thing. He's got the EU flag T-shirt. He deludedly thinks he's the European champion. I think there's a note on the English comms at least that he's been ordered to hand the belt back by Dead End, which Mike DeVecco is going to be back in action next weekend. I think that's where you're going to have the main groundwork laid for Carat, since obviously Mike D's been out for a couple of months. Then I guess, the non-tournament main event. So this match was changed with Peter Tihanyi's injury. Planda Gojira, Mark Empire, Robert Dreisker, Lawrence Roman, and Leah Bloom beating Anil Marek, Joseph Fennick Jr., High Performer Limited, and the big bucks of Norman House and Alex Duke. Again, pretty good multi-man tag. Went about 20 minutes. A few, callbacks. Dreisker and Roman. They started. It was Bielefeld last year where he had this
muscle memory, I think,
Yeah.
as it was called.
We had this in Bielefeld last year, if I remember right, when it was Dreisker and Anil Marek, and they were still
Yes, they did the same thing. Yeah.
well, it was friction then because Dreisker still really didn't like the way things went out between. But this time,
Marek regressed to the student again, didn't he?
yeah, this time though, Dreisker's a good guy, so good guys always get along if it's a bit gritty teeth and put up a kind of thing. But this is pretty decent, although like Peter Tihanyi meant that what was going to be a big strike towards the main event of Carat was pretty much like I don't say placeholder, but very interesting that obviously Icarus not on the card. Planda Gojira put over strong. Big Bucks didn't get involved in the decision, which if you want to just look at the tag title picture, Gojira over strong. Big Bucks didn't take the loss, and Anil Marek again beaten like a drum for High Performer Limited, which maybe that plays something in a couple of weeks' time, but we'll see there. And of course, main event for the spot of Carat, Bobby Guns pinning Stephanie Mason, Fast Time Mudo. I think finishing that one very out of nowhere. We did a lot of lot of the usual three-way stuff, 1 in, 1, 2 in, 1 out kind of thing. And I think we finished just Bobby stealing the pin with a very tight roll-up. Again, fine for what it was, but I guess the big stuff coming out on the Shotgun vlog. Does anyone else want to bring about the card, or just get more into the vlog?
No. I think obviously I sort of said about the. I would say the one to watch on this one was obviously the Ahura Igler Blanc match. I think that's the one that's probably the one worth catching, if anything.
So from Shotgun Vlog, few storyline developments. Baby Allison's been booted out of High Performer Limited or put on gardening leave. We're doing this again, Mike. I swear this is a repeat. Basically had to hand in her golf glove because 2 counts in a row she's failed to qualify. So we'll see where that goes. This is maggot yet again with the fake. I swear it's going to do my head in if they replay that without the fake stuff, but we'll see. Bobby Guns got into a scuffle with Stephanie Mays for the way was Fighting Spirit didn't perform with Attack Festival weekend, and then Bobby singed her hair, which I didn't have Bobby Guns going all Kane on us on my bingo card, but there we go. That'll lead up to something later on. Of course, Dennis Dolnig can change things. Big Bucks, they're taking on Youngblood and Hamburg, so the usual, we're going to take out the trash in your hometown. Mudo's going to be going after the Shotgun title of the Carat weekend. Now, they didn't say or put a graphic about the Shotgun Bonanza, so is that night one and then they do everything on Shotgun Bonanza? Because that's kind of painting the corner, because they said we're going to do Anita and Mudo. You're doing the Shotgun Bonanza. Are you giving away the main event of that, or have you given away Anita's going to retain and then this is a night 2 or night 3 thing?
Exactly.
Guess we'll see.
Or you do Mudo challenging the champion on night 2.
Yeah, I mean, again, lots of stuff will probably change, obviously, with what we spoke about earlier. Levanil's absolutely creepy, that spaced out look in the, I guess, whatever part of the boiler room he was in, hugging the European title. Well, I've got to give the European title back to the right Flona, but I'm the right Flona. I have it, so I don't have to do anything. Who and Blanc got into it again backstage. Of course, for one in recent matches, Eigel said, I'll meet you in the main event. I'm the international star. So I guess he meant the main event for Carat finals. Guess we'll see. Leah Bloom unsure of his gratification of beating Tihanyi for belt. Wasn't sure what's going to happen. Well, now we know it's not. And then the big news coming out of it, Stephanie Mays has moved to happen. No, I'm kidding. She stands Bobby Guns to a hair versus hair match. Where the hell has that come from? Apart from 5 minutes on a vlog.
Yeah, I say it was a bit of a sharp left, really, isn't it?
I mean, there was some hair pulling stuff during the match, but very subtle stuff, nothing definitely not stuff you'd be see called out as, oh, he went for hair so often it's going to be a heavy hair match. But yeah,
I suppose the finish of the main was after that was kind of a hair pull.
Yeah, I mean, again, breaking down makes sense, but it's like through wrestling, you've had one match, and now all of a sudden you're going to Bobby, I'm going to shave you bald, which, yeah, it's, do we get Dirty Dragon back to do the honors like last time?
Maybe.
So anyway, that was Wheel of Wrestling for Bielefeld. It's on Triller and Wrestling now. I don't think we finalised versions for it, but any day now. If you have a Wrestling Now subscription, they did also upload the Mendig show from January. I'm not going to go over everything much, but one thing which I sat down and they released it match by match, so you've got to piece together the match order from Cage Match or the Wrestling results to see what happened.
We'll just pick and choose.
Yeah, first match I clicked, sit down, Wolfgang Petri Ruhrgebiet. They're bringing back real music, Mike.
Well, yeah, that's obviously a positive. If they can do it occasionally, I think, in fairness, I think we've got to a point, unfortunately, maybe not through choice, but we've got to a point where some of the songs are iconic enough. We're like, yeah, okay, we get it, we like it. But obviously, yeah, if we can get more of this sort of thing, then great. Yeah, awesome. Because it's always better.
And we'll say Mike Schwartz Red Scorpion opening match. For a match I completely dismissed. It was, I don't say like a wrestling holiday camp match. Like really good fun. Like it's not going to go in and be like your Voice of Wrestling match of the ear pulse, but for a 10-minute opener, which had a random, and a random, delivering a kayfabe pizza, which, yeah, it just completely took me by surprise. Also had Alex Duke, Norman Harris beating Youngblood in a non-title match, which that's led to the match at Dead End later this month. Ahura beating Bobby Guns, keeping the sneaky or not so sneaky a run now. One called Amanda's beating Yuya Aoki in just under 10 minutes. I thought that was an absolute cracker, and that's up for free on the WXW YouTube, so you don't need a subscription. So yeah, damn sure you check that one out. And of course, main event, Ilya Bloom, Robert Dreisker against An-American Peter Tihanyi. That was going to be keeping the Bloom Tihanyi stuff going. A few other news bits before we wrap up. Of course, Bobby Guns won the Road to Carat Tournament in Bielefeld. We've got the two final announced names, Leon Slater and Daisuke Sekimoto.
Yeah, so it had been kind of speculated by, well, a few of us that Sekimoto might be joining. There was a post from Yuya Aoki saying it was a picture of him, Daisuke, and the astronaut saying, "We're all looking forward. We're all saying goodbye and ahead of our tour in March." And we kind of think there was a bit of speculation. It was like, is this just a bad translation?
Yeah, so like the Daisuke play will also be going to Germany. It's like, was that meant to be he's been to Germany before, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Daisuke, I think he was last in 2019, the bowling year. I think he was on the same lanes I was on, and his fingers couldn't get in the damn bowling balls, which there's a mental image I can't get past. And also that goddamn burger he had the Nippy's Kitchen do for him. Like, yeah, I mean, obviously long past the days of bowling tournaments, but yeah, good times, I guess. Another change for Carat, of course, for full 16, we do have another substitution. Dragon Kid has been deemed not fit to compete. Of course, he got injured pretty soon after he was announced, I think. This is the opening night of King of Gate tournament for Dragon Gate. He's not worked since. Don't believe cage match. I think that's another Dragon Kid they've mislabeled there. He's been replaced by Masaki Mochizuki, also of Dragon Gate. Of course, his son Mochizuki Jr. worked over Carat last year, over Carat weekend last year. Did a couple of other spot shows as well. Mochizuki did one prime match with WXW in September 2010, losing to Zack Sabre Jr. On a WXW Dragon Gate co-promoted show. Be Mochizuki's first match at New Ups in September 2017 when he wrestled in Wolverhampton for Fight Club Pro, so don't get that taste out of your mouth, eh?
Yeah, it's a much better place to be.
Yeah, I mean, similar kind of vibe, but much better. 3 names for Ambition added: Danny Jones, Liam Slater, and finally Zazaya. And
that's a
big get for them. Zazaya, I guess for those who who don't watch Rev Pro, even know of these days, pretty much burst onto the scene last May when Rev Pro did their show in Barcelona, beat Michael Oku, non-title match, and he's pretty much been a regular on the rest of Rev Pro shows in 2024. Now I'd say he's I think it's like 26. I think for no graphics said, he's a little bit older than you'd think. But no, very much one of those guys who's come out of nowhere, and he will fit ambition like a glove.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think we've sort of told this. Well, actually, I don't know if we have told the story on here, but obviously, Cesare is effectively a trainee of Carlos Romo.
Yep.
And sort of comes from White Wolf Wrestling in Spain. When he was about 15, 16, he came to training and he said, "I'd like to train to be a wrestler in Spain." And Carlos said, "No, don't go away, do some amateur wrestling." So in the meantime, he went away, became Spanish national champion at amateur wrestling. And I think he did gymnastics as well. And now he's basically come back and now he's training to be a wrestler and he's natural. So yeah, created a bit of a monster, but what a superb wrestler he is.
So looking now, thanks Google, I think Noah's got the age wrong. He was in the under 23 group. They're right. He's in the under 23 groups of the under 23 World Championships in October 2022. It's the last record they have of him. Yeah, of course, full name I'm not going to give it out. You can Google yourself if you want to reveal that. But yeah, he's done obviously Rev Pro. He's done a few bits and pieces before for LDN in Britain. But yeah, real explosion's been for Rev Pro this past year, and now I mean, heck, you saw him at Norway over in Japan last month, which I think he's still over. I mean, that was completely out of left field, and he's still over there now, as far as I'm aware.
Yes, I think he's still there at the moment. Sort of, I think came in on LJ's word, from what I can tell. Yeah, he's if you've not seen him, obviously there's a litany of great work with him in Rev Pro. You can also check out a match he did just before Christmas on Fight Factory Pro Wrestling's YouTube channel, the good promotion in Ireland. And yeah, he had a match with LJ Cleary on there, and yeah, it's worth it. It's a good introduction to, and it's a good sort of student-teacher match. I would recommend.
I need to get that watched because it's been on my YouTube watch list. It's the Fight Factory Christmas special. We'll kind of link pop in the show notes. It was uploaded for show, was uploaded for free. But yeah, I've been saying he's been in Japan pretty much the whole year at this point. Is due back in this country, in Europe, for visit HSL is facing for Rev Pro a week later in Wolverhampton. God, we've mentioned Wolverhampton too much on the show, but so yeah, because I want to keep an eye out for, and it'll be a very pleasant surprise. And who knows, maybe he'll do it in a circle. That's just me building my hopes up. And finally, in terms of tournament announcements, Blanc and Mike DeVecchio, they got announced for All Japan's Champions Carnival. They're both from the same Block B of the Round Robin tournament that starts April 9th and runs to May 18th. I guess based on the current schedule, it means we're going to miss 16 Carat Gold Revenge in Frankfurt, and that's they go over to Japan early, and 2 town shows. So really, it's making the most of a kind of light post-Carat schedule, I guess. Yeah, I know Mike D got over massively on that run in Japan for his Real World Tag League the end of last year. Blanc's also had a run too.
To be fair, yeah.
Yeah, so
I was
both
sort of
from
reading. Sorry, I was sort of reading a few of the views of the some All Japan fans, and they were saying that Blanc kind of didn't really fit in very well with the juniors because he was like 10 times as tall as them all.
Yeah, I know the first feedback I saw, and again, it's not from people in Japan, but folks who follow All Japan, was, oh, he's a junior, he's going to get beaten like a drum, and I wouldn't be so certain. I mean, again, I don't follow All Japan that much, but if you say that first run, they were saying he doesn't fit in, maybe they put him in as a kind of one foot in both camps kind of thing. But again, out for 2, Mike D made the biggest impression. But also, you do have a whole thing of, well, All Japan, it's not unknown for them to put the belts on foreigners. I mean, David Boy Smith Jr. recently had the belt. So, Either of those
it,
guys winning, and then winning the title afterwards wouldn't be the biggest shock, I'd guess.
it also gives the chance that they can do the Igor LeBlanc Mike D match, which kind of has been proven to be a very good match. Whenever they've done it anywhere in Europe, they can do that in the Champions Carnival, and it gives them all both a chance to be sort of shown off. If I was doing All Japan, I'd probably say let's put that on the first day, and then everyone go, oh wow, and then it gives them a chance to. That's the sort of a good showcase for them for the rest of the tournament.
And I guess talking about matches, we mentioned the Zazaya LJ Clear match. WXW is still putting up like odd matches on their YouTube for free. Last couple of weeks we had Mike DeVecchio, Leon Slater, that went up actually this morning from Hamburg last year. Remember we both absolutely loved that match. Full balls to the wall sprint from last year's Dead End. Igor LeBlanc, Mike Loku from the summer of 2023, I want to say. Oku's big breakout in WXW, that's up for free. And then also from last year's Dead End, Amboss against Youngblood and Shikahiro Irie. That was Oscar's Hamburg debut and completely overwhelmed Irie from what I remember. Just because his first time wrestling in Hamburg. So, and I guess while we're on tangents, Irie apparently has got a new move. And yeah, I don't know what the hell it is. All I know it's just called Auf die Fresse, which is absolutely not a surprise. Just a shame it's not in Germany for Cow to display it. Maybe Pro Wrestling Grand Prix. I still keep calling it Tag League when it's Tag Festival. It's going to take a while to get out of the system. Anyway, guess coming up shows this weekend, Saturday for Orbit Traubling, February 15th, Event Hall Airport. So this is no one they'll be taping and match will be drip fed or maybe on one go if it's like Mendig on YouTube. Hector versus one called Manders. Stephanie Mays against Jessie J, the running back from Femme Fatale last year. Aaliyah Bloom against Yuya Aoki. Planet Gojira against Lawrence Roman and Nick Schreier. Dennis Stone against Kevin Kaiden. That's announced so far for that. And of course, Dead End in Hamburg, February 22nd, the Marktal. This will be live on Triller and WXW Now. Hector against Michael Oku. Lawrence Roman against Yuya Aoki. Hype Form Limited, Joseph Fennick Jr. and Anil Marek against Planet Gojira. Aaliyah Bloom against one called Manders. Ahura challenges Mike DeVecchio for European title. We've got the Bobby Gunn Stephanie Mays hair versus hair match. Fast Time Mudo against Kawanwa and Big Bucks against Youngblood for the tag titles, which asked 24 hours ago I would have said Youngblood retain, and because obviously got the Hype Form Limited thing already set or called for shot for Coward, but I don't think it's a title change, but I think they may end up doing like freeway, and maybe that's how they finagle a main event for Carrot Night 2. We'll see, because after that, Carrot in the Circle 17th in 3 weeks' time as we record this in Gelsenkirchen. Then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all the goodies of Carrot will go through in the coming weeks. Do a big Carrot preview. Of course, the first round matches will be announced in 2 weeks' time. But yeah, Mike, nice and short one this time. Of course, bad news.
Emergency pod, really, isn't it?
Yeah, in case of emergency, pull the leave. But where can I find you on these social medias again?
I am Mark Kilby on everything, even on Blue Sky. There you go.
And for me, at Ian Wrestling on everything, backbodydrop.com on, of course, website, backbodydrop and Insta photographs. And yep, thanks very much everyone for listening. Make sure you follow us on those. Subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. Make sure you follow us on YouTube as well. And yeah, we will see you in a few weeks' time for Hamburg and the Carrot preview. Thanks for listening, folks, and tschüss.
Tschüss.